If it,
That
okay. Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Tando Presents in Her Words. Today we have a special guest. Her name is Chi, but she will introduce herself. Hi Chi, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi. Of course, I'm Chi Ilochi. I'm the founder of Styling by Chi, a fashion styling and image consulting company that aims to heal, empower, and inspire through fashion and style.
Okay, thank you so much for that. So
Of
Chi,
course.
um, you you said that you have a styling and design company, and what inspired you to start your styling and design journey?
Really, two words. I'd say self-expression. Fashion was always something I used to express myself growing up, being an introvert and dealing with my struggles with bullying and being Nigerian and before, it was, I guess, before it was trendy and stuff like that. So it was really my way of expressing myself and allowing myself to kind of just exist the only way I really knew how. And it was something I kept pursuing and it kind of turned into something. Initially, I didn't start fashion styling to get anywhere with it. It was just my escape away from everything. And, once I realized it can help me express myself, feel empowered, I wanted to pay that forward to other people. And that's where Styling by Chi came about.
In our previous conversation, you did mention that you did start styling at 16. I know it is predominantly to style women and to empower women, but who is your main focus? So if I'm a man and I feel like I need Chi to style me, can I come to you, or is it just something that you decided that your main focus is styling women?
It's everyone. It's everyone. I didn't want to. I'm very big on making it accessible
Mhm.
to everyone, and I didn't want to gatekeep anything, any form of luxury, any form of dressing well, any gender or orientation. It doesn't matter. It's, if you want to look good and you want to feel good because you deserve to, I'm the one, to come to.
You did speak about everyone having that experience with luxury. So what does it look like if I come to you and I'm like, gee, I have an event to go to, I don't know what to do. What is the styling by Chi experience like?
Well, I ask a variety of questions, so it kind of it varies. Um, I'd say what makes it a luxurious service, for one, a fashion stylist is considered that, but because of how much I care about you as my client, you know, being paid is great, but I want you to feel like, oh wow, this person cares about me beyond the clothes. So I'll ask questions from, who's your celebrity style inspiration? Or what's an outfit that you've always wanted to wear, but you never felt like you could? I ask towards the end of my consultations and styling sessions if you could be in the room with the younger version of yourself. Would they look at you today and be proud of you? And depending on how they answer that question, I know how to style them. So typically, if they're like, you know what, I think he or she would be proud, then I can kind of experiment and be more creative in how I style them. If they say, you know what, I'm not really sure, then I know we have some work to do. So I can't necessarily come out the gate putting them in pieces that I think are amazing if they're not at that stage yet in their life and their journey. So what makes it luxurious is building and growing with you as your style grows and evolves.
What are the type of people, well, you speak about, working with people who are not comfortable in their skin and people that are comfortable in their skin. What are the type of people are your favorites to actually work with when you style?
That's a tough one. um, I'd say the homeless and the elderly. Those are my, like, it changes all the time, but those are definitely my favorite because it gives a different perspective on what I do and what purpose means to me. So it like changes every time. So it's like sometimes I'm like, you know what? I love fashion because it's cool. I can wear a cute outfit. And other times it's like, wow, you can really help people through it. And their reactions make it worth it every time. So there's no, it's like, it's, I'm trying to explain it well. It really makes you tap into the essence of human nature. It's like, wow, we're people and we're connecting through something that we enjoy and something that you didn't even know you could have access to. So seeing how excited they get and how they feel like, oh, I look so good. I'm about to conquer the world. It's a really, really good feeling. And it's not the same feeling I get when I style models or do editorial shoots. It just feels a little bit more personal.
You spoke about styling the homeless and the elderly. What brings you from going styling editorial shoots and your everyday person to styling the homeless and elderly people? How do you go from there?
For me, it was about changing the narrative of the fashion industry. You come across interesting. It's a the fashion industry is very interesting. I'm just going to say that, and it's normal and it's expected to be rude or to be snarky or to um, just think you're better than everyone else. And once you reach a certain level of success in the industry, it's like no one else can compare. Um, you don't really see those who've been successful in their field kind of reach back. It's like you reach this level of success and you're like, you know what, I don't care about you guys, you can stay over there, you're beneath me. um and I don't like that. I'm a part of that fashion industry like countless other people, and I don't want to contribute to a problem that needs to change. So when I thought about styling and community styling and styling the homeless and the elderly, I wanted to really approach it in a way where what's the fashion industry missing? You know what I'm saying? I tried to see or envision what wasn't already there. And when I thought about it, I was like, you know what? These are people that we walking down the street, going out to brunch, that we encounter every day, and we look past. We don't really bother to talk to them. We don't bother to know how they've come to be who they are or what they've gone through. We're just like, they're homeless. They probably did something and whatever, or they're old. They've already lived. And I wanted to use something that is so known for being so elite or recluse, if you will, and make it accessible, excuse me, to people who aren't thought of.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So they can have that experience that you see on the runways or in these styling sessions. It's like you don't have to be a model to feel good, or you don't have to be a fashion blogger to look good. You should have access to luxury because you're a person. It's not, we're always told, if you make six figures, if you marry the spouse, if you get the house, you have the kid, now you deserve this. And I don't want to subscribe to that. And I don't think people should either. I think you should have access to these things because you're waking up and trying every day, just like myself. It doesn't matter what I've accomplished. If we're both on the same, earth trying, and this world is crazy, life should be easier for you. And I really wanted to help do that through something that's made my life easier.
That's true. You have styling by Chi, but you also make sure that you are healing and empowering through styling by Chi. Can you please share a little bit more about that side and what you're doing in that, in terms of healing and
I
empowering?
would say, how to, before I even got to that place, therapy. And I don't want to give this misconception that it's like, you know what, you pour so much into others and don't do it to yourself because that'll burn you out. And before I was able to do that, went to therapy, and I'm, I'm still in it, full transparency, to just make sure I'm at a healthy stage so that I can operate from a healthy place amongst other people. But
sorry to
I'm
interrupt before you go into that. And how does it, you come from an African home, and African homes are, and now you want to go to therapy.
Listen.
How was that? Now you're talking to your African parents and they're like, what do you mean therapy? Go to church.
Right. A conversation was had, and it went better than I expected. Just like, it's kind of like going to the doctor, just making sure you're on the right track and you're in a good place. It's not so extreme. That's why we're going, so that it doesn't
crazy.
Right, so that it doesn't turn into that. So I'd say I had a better experience in that regard.
That's great. So your parents are great.
Yeah, I tried to keep it short, and I was like, it's like this. That's it. So yeah, that definitely helped. But it was a transition going to therapy, because you're expected to be vulnerable and transparent, or what's the point of going? And when you're not really used to doing that, it's very like, why are you my business kind of thing. It's like you're guarded.
Why should I be talking about this stuff?
But over time, when you think about how easier your life can be and how you can handle conflict resolution or your own fears and anxieties better, it's like, let me get over it, put my ego to the side, and talk to someone who's skilled in this area so that I can be a better person. It definitely helps.
Thank you for sharing that, because it's not always easy for any of us, like coming from African homes. Religion is such a big part of our upbringing, and parents don't understand. most parents, or some parents, depending on the whole thing. Then they don't understand why this whole therapy, what is wrong with you? Why do you need therapy? And it's just that you're just trying to make sure that as a person, you know how to deal with things, because we aren't given the tools and the skills to deal with certain things, So I'm glad that you had that conversation with your parents, and now to you helping and using those tools from therapy, and now pouring it into helping other people.
It was kind of, that transition was like kind of coming across a gold mine, because it was like, oh, this is a game changer. It's like therapy has helped me in these ways, and I'm gonna hold on to it and enjoy it and bask in this new revelation for as long as I can. But there's so many people that don't have access to therapy. You know what I'm saying? And what is, it was a moment of self-reflection. It's like, what have you used before you went to therapy that was your form of counsel? And fashion, styling, that came to mind. And I wanted to use that to help people, because I know what it's like to be in a low stage and to feel depressed and to not know if you even really want to, live to see another day, just being honest here. So I did like style tips and like free style tips or style coaching. I'm like, okay, this is, if you don't feel good, or you're going through that season, maybe you just got out of a bad breakup and you're taking it pretty hard, and you want to wake up and just wear all black. It's like, okay, hey, it's like baby stepping them through the healing process. So you can wear black sweatpants, but maybe you can wear like a bright pink top. You know what I'm saying? Just extending them grace, because someone else extended it to me, and God gave me something that extended me grace before I met my therapist. Or it was given free clothing. Some people want to dress better, but they can't afford it. You know what I mean? And they're like, well, I get where you're coming from, but I don't have the means to be able to buy a new outfit. So that's where the free clothing came in. And I think all of these components work together to create some kind of harmony for them to heal, or to acknowledge that I do need to heal. And I think that's the first step in healing, is acknowledging that something's wrong. So that's definitely, why I started. I just don't feel right um going through something or overcoming something and not reaching back to someone else who may be going through something similar or worse and not helping them get through that.
Yeah, I totally
I don't think, yeah.
understand. I totally understand. I get that. It is our it's our human responsibility to help each other. And that's where community comes from. In South Africa, we call it Ubuntu, which is just humanity, just being a human and making sure we all take care of each other. So
Mhm.
yeah, so I totally understand that you're using something that you love, that you are great at, and making sure that
Thank you.
the next person is, you reach back to the next person. So what about I've seen on your Instagram the grants that you've given. Can you talk about that a bit as well?
I accidentally muted myself.
It's
Of course.
okay.
Wow. So that kind of ties into the way I look at success and any kind of favor that I've been, blessed with in my life. Someone paid it forward to me. And that's really what success is all about. If I'm the only one that's successful, I'm not a success. That's the way I see it. It's like I could, like, okay, I did this, that's cool. But if I'm the only person, you know what I mean? And I think we're blessed to be a blessing to other people. So I decided to, just give back in any way that I could. And it was through something I was passionate about. So it's like fashion. Um, Going to school there and having a great teacher, I wanted to give that to someone else. And there's countless Black children who want to be entrepreneurs and start businesses, but don't have the resources or the means to do so. And because I was blessed with the ability to be able to succeed in that area, I wanted to pay that forward.
So you and I connected through a membership group of Black and Brown young professionals who are basically trying to push forward the good in the world, which is Forbes The Culture. And what are you looking forward to in, you know, Forbes The Culture and meeting, different people from all over the world, Black and Brown people from all over the world?
It's still kind of difficult to accept that I'm actually in the group because reading all of the notifications and this person did this and they did that, it's like a bit overwhelming, right? Man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd say to answer your question is just to create a space where people feel comfortable enough to succeed with me. And that it's easier. I just want to create a space that's it's easier for all of us, for Black and Brown creatives to just have a fighting chance at their purpose and their passion.
What is Chi's biggest why? What gets you up in the morning? Like, why do you have this drive to continue, to help, to push, to succeed?
I'd say that's a what is my why? It's like one thing I'll say in being a creative and being an entrepreneur is that you're constantly searching for new whys,
Yeah.
because we can have a why and then like accomplish and then succeed in that why, and then it's like, okay, what now?
Yeah.
So I'll say my why has changed many times over.
I get
But
it.
I'll say right now is to create art and create resources that Black and Brown people can see themselves in. They can see themselves represented in it.
That's a really good why. That is a very big why. Um,
Thank you.
being a creative, a lot of trends, they come and go and they change. And what makes it what makes a person as timeless? Because trends come and go and things change all the time. What is a creative you think makes a person timeless, or a style piece that is timeless, or any advice you can give to anyone watching about being timeless?
I'd say a style piece that never goes out is a denim jacket. That's a denim jacket, a leather jacket, never goes out.
Jacket, leather jacket.
one thing I'll say about one thing I'll say about trends is that you will never be on trend.
Yeah.
You will. It's so easy to make people think, with fear of missing out and, well, the newest, latest, you'll never be on trend, because when you finally get that piece that's on trend, another piece is coming out,
Yeah.
and then you get that piece, and then another one's coming out. So it's pointless. I can understand you're buying into this notion that I am trendy and I'm cool and stuff like that. I get it, but what makes a person cool and timeless is authenticity. You can never be on time with a trend or on trend, but you can always be authentic. You can always be true to yourself. And that within itself is the trend. You know what I'm saying? That's that's the fashion statement. That individuality. And that just knowing of self and sense of self is really how you take an outfit from to next level.
Yeah.
Because what makes the clothing is the person.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not the other way around. And if you're comfortable with who you are and what you are, anything you wear, whether it's on trend, whether it was on trend 3 seasons ago, if it was something from the 20s, if you're wearing it, that's what makes it a fashion must have.
You're very young and you're like a Gen Z, right? Yes. And you grew up with all these social media influencers, which is Instagram and now TikTok. And what made you stay true to yourself? It's easy to be swayed, especially now for young people, to just follow the current
Mhm.
thing right now is the 2000s are back and everyone is just in the 2000s.
Yeah.
So how did you stay true to being you and not being easily swayed by all these trends? And everyone looks the same on social media, if we're being honest.
Mhm.
So how did you still stay true to yourself and keep your individuality?
I'd say because I already tried. I've already tried, especially as a kid. I think being an outcast already kind of prepared me for it. And when I would try to be on trend or cool when I was a kid, I still wasn't. So it's like I had already tried to, do hop on the trend and do the latest thing it just wasn't me. It just never came out right. So I was like, I might as well just be myself. And that it's like I might as well just do me.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. It was really a trial and error. I've already had experience trying to be on trend or trying to fit in. And I guess God just didn't have plans for me to do that.
Yeah.
So it was like, do you want to keep failing at this or do you want to try something else? So that's what I did.
That's great that you tried and failed quick because it's not an easy process. People get stuck in that aspiring to be that it girl, that perfect girl, or that it boy, that current fashion thing, and it's tiring. It's really tiring to try to keep up with trends and people. um
Yeah, for sure.
So, any final words from your side? And what would you like to leave our audience with? What would you say are your final parting words?
Well, the
Yeah.
first is thank you. The first is thank you. It's been really cool connecting with you. And I'm just honored to be speaking with you. For one, it's still having a starstruck kind of moment, just being on it.
No, Chi.
This is here. Parting words, and as it pertains to fashion, or just generally speaking?
In anything you want to say and leave our viewers with.
I'd say.
Okay, let's start with the fashion. With the fashion, what would you say? What is your ultimate fashion tip besides being yourself? You've already said that. What can I do to elevate my look? A simple tip. Yes, that's a better question.
That's a good question. Wow, you got me. I'm really trying to think.
So I love fashion, so I'm listening, girl. This is for me.
Look at your style. Huh. I'd say try thrifting.
I love thrifting. Just by the way, I have
Hear me out.
A lot of thrift clothes.
That will force you to learn how to elevate your style.
Yeah.
Because I could tell you, I'm like, okay, buy the thigh-high boots, buy the heels, mules, get the mules. Y2K is in. Get the, like I could tell you to do what the trends say, but thrifting forces you to be creative, and it forces you to learn how to take your closet and your current wardrobe to the next level.
Yeah.
I would also say upcycle pieces. So maybe you have a pair of jeans or from last season. Maybe you can turn it into a skirt. Maybe you could turn it into some shorts. You know what I'm saying? I'd say look into your closet, and I know you have pictures of yourself, and look at those pictures, and it's like, okay, sorry about that. Look at those pictures and say like, okay,
that you were talking about.
Look at those pictures and say, I love this look, but I already wore it. That's something we all do. It's like, this was such a cute outfit, but I can't wear it twice. Maybe you can, you know what I'm saying? But just in a different way.
Yeah.
So let's say you're wearing this blouse or these cute heels. Maybe you can learn different ways to be creative with your wardrobe. And maybe I'll pair these heels with this skirt, or I'll pair these heels with this pantsuit, or wear this button-down blouse as a shirt dress, or something like that. Just be open-minded before you go shopping again, because right now it's expected. There's pressure. Seasons are changing. We're going from spring to summer. You got to up your wardrobe. You got to start over. No, you don't. It's just about being intentional with your style. I would advise anyone to be intentional with your style and your style selections. So before you go out shopping and get all the fast fashion pieces, look in your closet right now and see, like, wait a minute, maybe I can take notes, get rid of some things, and just think about how you could restyle a look before you go out and buy another look. And then we're in the same process. I'd say generally speaking, your life isn't over just because you experienced a bad chapter. And this is something I'm, working through now. We're never really taught how to navigate joy and contentment. We're just left there. But depression and anxiety and stuff like that, it's like, go see your therapist, go do this, go do that. But it's like, okay, I'm happy now. What now? And sometimes we think our season is over, our life is over because of the bad chapter, because no one taught us how to navigate the good chapters. Wow. And sometimes we think, our life is over because we're just in a really terrible stage. Yeah. But if you're waking up every day, you're still supposed to be here. You still have a calling and a purpose. And it's so easy to look at social media and see what everyone has, which is just all of our highlight reels, and think, well, maybe I'm behind. I should do more. Like, where do I go from here? 20 something, I'm 30, which is young too. And
Yeah.
it's like I'm falling behind and everything like that. And I think it's important to know that as much time as we spend, comparing and downing ourselves, the fact that you're still here and trying is your biggest accomplishment in life. Not who you marry, not what you buy, not your career. The fact that you didn't give up when life gave you countless reasons to. Um, and I would really say to those who don't know how to navigate joy, because I didn't, I really didn't. I was like, well, what do I do now? Like,
I'm happy.
it's
What
it's
happens?
it's
I think it's because we're all like, okay, I'm too happy. It's doom and gloom now. Something's
right,
gonna happen because I'm happy.
right,
That's
yeah.
what we all
I
say.
had that anxiety as well. I was like, no, okay, all right, you can let it happen now.
Yeah.
Um, but I would say that you deserve your joy. So before you learn how to navigate joy, I just would genuinely pray that anyone maybe listening or watching will first accept that they do deserve the joy. That if you believe in God or some kind of higher power, that He didn't put you here to suffer.
Yeah.
And sometimes there isn't always a reason for the bad seasons in your life. Sometimes bad things just happen. We live on earth. Sometimes bad things just happen,
Yeah.
but you deserve joy. And it's easier to navigate something that's unfamiliar when you can accept that you deserve it.
Yeah.
So trying to navigate joy and you still feel like you don't deserve to have joy or happiness, it's going to be very challenging. But I just would advise any and everyone to just know that they deserve joy and they deserve peace of mind because they didn't give up when they probably should have,
Yeah.
and or it would have made more sense to. Um, so the fact that you're still here and you're still trying and you're still committed to purpose, you're still committed to living, um, is amazing. And I'm proud of you for what it's worth coming from someone you don't know because it's not easy.
Yeah.
But you're still doing it. So that's what I would say.
Thank you so much, Chi, for making time to share with us. It's been such an amazing chat, and you have so much wisdom and so much grace. And I will put a link to people to follow you and with your website in our description box. And just thank you for your time.
Of course. Thank you for having me. Bye.